$213 million. He said, no, thank you very much. I want more than that, and he's going to get it.
And then Brian Cashman came out and walked everyone through a contract that he said no to. And then Brian Cashman got booed this weekend. Paul O'Neill, the retiring the number 21, they booed Brian Cashman. This team that's gone through a really rough patch, a little over 2 weeks now, where they're not playing their best baseball. They've won back-to-back games. They're still on pace to win 100 games. But yet there are Yankee fans that think the Brian Cashman era is about to come to an end. Since July 10th, you see their numbers on the screen, 13-24. I completely disagree with every one of those Yankee fans that say Brian Cashman has to go. But this is a story that's getting more and more momentum. Do you understand why Yankee fans are thinking this way, Cliff?
I do. I understand it because of what we've seen. They haven't won since 2009. There's a lot of frustration with the way the starting rotation has been handled, and the bullpen's been handled. So I think there's a lot to be said about how he's going about his business. Now, look, a lot of it might not be his fault, obviously, because health plays a big part in who you go out and get and so on and so forth. But I just think when you have the lead that they had in the first half, you can ill afford to be in this situation. They're booing him for what reasons, other than what they're saying of the team and how they're playing of late, and how things sort of when you look at the roster, how it's situated, it just doesn't look like a team that's going to go deep into the postseason. They're going to get there. But this team has to win the World Series, in my opinion, for him to keep
to stay. Wow. Would you agree with that?
I don't know if I'd go that far, but he had a very bad trade deadline up to this point. Jordan Montgomery's throwing zeros again against the Cubs. Now, granted, that's not the Red Sox lineup. Jordan Montgomery has been brilliant. He has been, like every start for the Cardinals. You look at what the Yankees did at the trade deadline, and a lot of people thought that they should have been on Luis Castillo, and instead they got Frankie Montas. 3 stars for Frankie Montas right now looks like a guy with deer in the headlights. Like, this isn't pitching in front of 1,500 in the Coliseum in Oakland. And there's a lot of heat on Frankie Montas. And the Frankie Montas that I've seen doesn't look like he's going to be part of a postseason picture right now, unless either one, his shoulders bother him and he can get healthy, because he's not throwing. He hasn't thrown a pitch with the Yankees yet. He hasn't thrown an inning yet with any conviction of the guy that he was when he was with the Oakland A's.
His contract is up. Brian Cashman's contract's up at the end of the year. Are you guys telling me that it's within the realm of possibility that the New York Yankees could win 100 games and Brian Cashman, who's done all of this in his career, who I think is a Hall of Fame front office executive, would be dismissed?
If they get bounced early, if they limp into the postseason and they get bounced early by a team that it looks like they should beat, I think there's some validity to that. Yes, if they get bounced early.
Did you see the deadline moves right there, and how they're it's playing out right now?
Well, I mean, Harrison Bader hasn't played yet, so maybe when he...
Well, he's hurt. He's traded for a hurt player. Come on.
I will say this. Of the guys, Lou Trevino was terrific yesterday.
He was.
2 1/3, picked up. That was a big save. That was a game. That was a must-win game for the Yankees yesterday. They could have ill afforded of getting swept in a 4-game series at home to the Blue Jays.